Infinite state.
Infinite state.
Infinite state.
Infinite state.
Move into a new reality and upgrade the way you interact with the world.
Let's take a minute to talk about everybody's favorite word, love. It might not be in the way that you might think we're going to talk about love today, because it's in a different direction. Most people put love out. They love their dog, they love their parents, they love their spouse, their significant other. What I want to talk about is loving yourself. I went through so many years of hating myself. Oh, boy, did I hate myself. Caused suffering in my life, had addictions in my life, would just be the victim, cause depression, all this stuff. And I would wallow in this hate for who I am because I didn't love who I was. I had these traumas that were causing me to be a certain way. And man, it's hard. And once you're beating down on yourself, it's so hard to love others. And I went through so many failed relationships. I didn't love the way that I know I can do now. And also friends. I wasn't able to love friends like I can love friends now. So to me, loving yourself is the root of projecting love. Eckhart Tolle says something great. He says the people that are around you, specifically your partner or whatever, is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Or a mirror, let's say a mirror, reflection or a mirror. And if you don't like yourself, you're going to attract other people that don't like themselves. And I know that feeling, and I know it's not good, it's not bad, it's just hard. It's hard to love somebody else if you don't love yourself. I like to think of it, the metaphor I think of when I talk about this is when you're on the airplane and you're watching the video that you've seen 100 times, maybe thousands of times about the airplane safety. One thing always was interesting to me is there's a mom and a kid, and the oxygen mask falls. And the thing they say is, put the oxygen mask on the child before you put it on yourself. I always thought that's so weird. Why would you do that? And then as I got older, I realized, it's because if you can't breathe, how are you going to save your child? And I think about that a little bit with love. It's like, if you can't love yourself and you can't save yourself, and you can't be good to yourself, how can you be good to somebody else? And the job about that is you can't love somebody else and force yourself to love somebody else because you have a ceiling. So if this is how much you love yourself, you're going to keep doing this. You're going to keep bashing against that ceiling. So our goal as human beings is to bring that ceiling up. And the higher the ceiling, the more love you can feel for others. But you're always going to get to that ceiling. You're never going to overlove someone. Because what happens when you get past that ceiling is you lose part of yourself. You go into a relationship, no matter what it is, friendship, and you give too much of yourself. And it starts becoming unbalanced. So once you get past that ceiling, now you're in the zone of, I'm losing who I am, I'm giving too much to somebody else. And then what's going to happen is inevitably it's going to go crash. You're going to crash at some point. You can't maintain that. So let's say that again. We have a ceiling of how much we love, and our love can only go as high to that ceiling for something else as this point. And as soon as we pass that point, we get to the point where we're over-giving and over-loving, and it causes burnout, stress, relationships to fail, friendships to fail, and because you can't over-love someone. You have to love somebody as much as you love yourself. So how do we love ourselves more? Well, to forgive ourselves. We have to look at awareness and forgive our actions. We have to forgive what we've done, what we've said, not be the victim of what we've done and said, and say, I, in that moment, did the best that I could, and next time I'll try to do better. And also we have to go inside, and meditation is such a powerful tool for that, to find that love inside. And I have such a weird thing that happened to me. It was through therapy and meditation, but I remember going through the process of, I had this little ball, and this little ball that was like in my heart. And he had like little eyes that looked around, and he was all colors. It was like he was all colors. And this little ball started out in a house. This is weird, I know. In a house. And he would come out to see me, and we'd sit there for a minute without saying anything because he didn't talk. And then he'd go back in the house. But we were on 2 separate blocks, and he'd go back in the house. And as I started loving more and making this love inside of me feel safe, this ball started growing, this love, this light, this energy inside of me. I like to call it this divine inside of me started growing. And I started really feeling this love for me. And when that happened, things started shifting. Like some of my addictions started going away, and how I treated people was different. How I treated myself was different. I took care of myself better. I was losing weight. I was more relaxed. I was more joyful. I was manifesting all these things that I wanted in life because I love myself first. And it really is a beautiful thing to think about. When the mask falls, you can't save your child if you don't have oxygen. And you can't love a partner the way that I know you want to love them. I know you do. I know that you want to love as much as you can. But you're not going to love that partner if you don't love yourself. And looking inward and forgiving yourself, doing inner child work is a really valuable thing for some stuff that you may have happened when you were a kid, that ruminate, that might pop up, that might come up. In the Infinite State app, there's wonderful stuff to do around inner child work and getting that love for yourself. There's some courses in there that I really would love you to check out, and there's some meditations that really help you get that love. So ask yourself throughout the day, what are you doing that's not loving to you? What are you putting in your body? What are you saying? What are other people saying? What are other people saying to you that you allow them to say to you? That's a big deal. If somebody treats you with disrespect and you kind of just take it, your body notices that. Your body goes, wait a minute, that didn't make us feel very good. Why would they say that? And instead kind of stand up and say, well, why would you say that to me? Don't be reactive, like we talk about all the time. Just stand up and go, man, that was really hurtful. Why'd you say that? And then they might step back, and who knows where they're at. They might, oh, I'm sorry. And then it's over. That's the beautiful thing about relationship that I had to learn, and it was a recent thing for me, was apologizing and accepting an apology. And I still struggle with it. I really do in relationship, especially with Sarah and my marriage. But I've gotten so much better of saying, hey, I am so sorry that I said that. This is where it was coming from, and it could be a trigger. And I analyze it, and I was like, why the heck was I so rude? And then having a partner that goes, it's okay, I forgive you. It's over. It's done. No percolating, passive-aggressive energy. It's over. And next time, I'm more mindful of how I say that thing. And when you're in a relationship and you're learning a person, you're going to say offensive things. It's just, that's what it is. And if you don't call those things out, they don't get rectified, and you're going to be in a situation where they're going to continually happen. And then the dam bursts and one little thing goes off and the relationship just goes. So just admitting that you were wrong is a way to love yourself and say, man, I didn't do my best in that situation. And then saying it like that to your partner, I'm so sorry. I know that I know how that hurt you, and that was not fair. And it might have come from a place of trauma. I'm going to look into it, but I'm going to be very aware if it happens again, and I'm going to be very aware if it comes up. And then you start understanding yourself better. And what your body wants for you is to understand yourself. Your body wants you to love it. It does. The trauma that's in your body is stopping that love from happening. And your body wants you to love it, and then it wants to show you these things. It wants to show you these wonderful, beautiful emotions and energy and love and light and all these beautiful things, but it's scared to do it. Just like that little ball of light didn't want to come out of the house. Well, now he's in here, and he's different sizes, and the more I meditate, the more I feel him big and wide. But there is this light in here that I never had before, because he was stuck in the house and he was so scared to come out because he was like, he's not going to be nice to me because he's not being nice to himself. He's not being nice to other people, or he's this and that. Like, I don't feel safe. And when your body starts to feel safe, this opening happens, this beautiful energy starts flowing, and your life just completely changes. And one of the beautiful perks is that all the people in your life, you can love them more. And one of the things that I've never done until this marriage, I've never really experienced unconditional love. And the only reason I'm experiencing it towards Sarah is because I experience it to myself. I forgive myself for things. I tell myself I'm going to do better if I can next time. Why did I act that way? That wasn't fair. And now I have the ability, because of that unconditional love and the healing and understanding why the addictions were there and why I needed the addiction at the time to treat the trauma. And now I don't need it. And now there's all this wonderful space and this love is the ceiling is so high. There's a ceiling, there's always a ceiling. And I can now take that beautiful extra love that I have and I can give that to the world and give that to my wife, a child if it comes, an animal, people in general, the person, the cashier that's working at Publix. It's people can feel that love and they can feel that light inside of you. So I'd love if you took a time to do some meditations around this, maybe look inward, maybe Google some inner child meditations. And again, always the Infinite State app has all these resources for you to learn how to love yourself more so that you can learn to love others unconditionally. But remember, it starts with you and then it goes outward, right in here. Peace and love. Tyler Summers here. If you enjoyed that podcast or the content of that podcast, I would love it if you went to infinitestateapp.com. I've developed an app with powerful tools that took me from this guy with an oversized ego, depressed, victim, anxious, fearful, jealous, envious, reactive, pessimistic. I was an addict, to this guy. Unconditional love, loving others, feeling light, hopeful, joyful, energetic, purposeful, more emotionally intelligent, and learning from what the universe offers instead of being a victim. www.infinitestateapp, you'll be able to download for free this powerful tool, always free. And if you want, there's a premium subscription that gets you access to 170 plus meditations, 2+ hours of course content, and over 300 journal prompts, all to help you sleep better, relax, feel less anxious, less procrastination in your life, be more productive, have emotional release, trauma healing, addiction healing, and manifestation. And my favorite, emotional intelligence. So head to www.infinitestateapp.com and grow your mindfulness muscle with all of these powerful tools. Peace and love.